right. I think the stream thing about things ready to go though. So hello everybody, ZardCast back at it again to give you another very exciting video. And oh shoot, there's quite a bit of stuff that happened this past week. We had a state of play, we had some Nintendo news from Scarlet and Violet, turn around and had Sonic Frontiers showcased off and a whole bunch of other stuff in the middle of all of that though. But with me today, I do have my buddy over here, Sanikyu. How's it going?
Hello.
Alrighty, and oh my goodness, man, I was going through this list, and I was like, we're in the month of June now, so it would be well if E3 were a thing, then we know for the special month of June, game announcements after announcements after announcements after announcements. Oh, and then I mentioned about announcements. Yeah, we're in that season, and just in this like past week alone, oh shoot, we had quite a bit of stuff though. But before we go into talking about this, how's your week been, man? Been crazy,
It's
cool.
been slow.
It's been kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna speed the. At least for me, it's been all right. I'm gonna be doing a little bit more speeding and running here, helping some family move and stuff like that though. But I did get a little bit of time to sit down and talk about some of the stuff that's happened in the past couple of weeks though. So we'll go ahead and jump up in the first segment though. That being what's in that pop culture segment. All right, so not a lot of stuff that happened in the pop culture stuff, but there is one thing that popped up out of nowhere. Honestly, I remember us talking about this at one point, Sanikyu, like like the live action Disney movies. Like it's been a while since I've seen an announcement for another one, but then lo and behold, it happened this week though. We did get a new trailer for Pinocchio. I guess that's the next one on the lineup though, but it does seem like it's only going to be a Disney Plus release. It's not going to be like one that's going to be in theaters. And I hadn't seen anywhere where it's going to be like one of them Disney Plus premieres where you have to pay extra. So I think it just comes naturally included if you have the subscription anyway, though. So it's kind of like almost like a freebie kind of movie to watch. Well, technically, you're paying the fee every month, though. But have you seen the trailer for it yet?
Yeah, no, I'm not really interested in it. I'd much
Oh,
rather watch it. I'd much rather watch a different Pinocchio
now isn't there
that's
another
coming
Pinocchio from some? I don't know who's making it. I heard about it.
From Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, okay, so that one might be a little closer to the. 'Cause you know how like.
It's animated, but it's more
Oh,
interesting to
okay.
me because of like I've seen a trailer or it's a teaser of it. It looks good.
Hmm. No, I
It
haven't
looks
seen that one.
It's because it's not made by Disney, so it wouldn't really be caught on your radar.
Yeah, but sometimes people would say some stuff on Twitter, so that would kind of make me go like, hey, or I know if I haven't seen it on Twitter, then I'll be like, oh, okay, I would have sat
If
there and
you
watched it.
wanna
But
know what it's like, it's more like a stop motion kinda thing. You know how Paranorman was
oh,
like?
oh, you
Yeah,
said
something
stop
like
motion. Okay, I got
yeah,
you.
like something like that. I'll post it in podcast studio if you wanna look at it.
Oh, okay, all right. But in terms of this Pinocchio one, it looks all right. I think the older classic movies, like these ones like this that were animated, I feel like those ones are okay. But then I think whenever you get into the what is it? Like the Mulans and stuff like that, like that's when I was kind of like having issues with it. But I think the older classics like Sleeping Beauty and all that stuff, I think they kind of benefit from having these different versions. But like ones like Lion King and other stuff, I'm like, okay, I don't feel like you might have necessarily needed to have that. I still stand by Aladdin was probably the best one they kind of did like that. But outside of that, there hadn't been nothing like really extremely good, at least in my honest opinion, though. But this is the next thing slated up from Disney. But that's pretty much all I had to say about it. I know you're not too particularly fond on it though, but unless you had
I'm just not a fan of like them going because like here's the thing, like they done live action before, right? But
yeah.
like shit like Enchanted and whatnot, but like when they're taking their old properties, like let's say like their animated films, like The Lion King, for example, and then they turn into live action. It's like the most uninspiring, boring looking, just straight up garbage. And it's not even. It's more of just like them. I like how they say live action, but it's all CGI animated.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Pinocchio doesn't look too bad. I mean, he kind of has that
Well,
cartoonish
well,
look. which I give him a little
Well, the
credit for
thing
that, but
is like Pinocchio can work. The issue is like I don't care.
hmm,
I'd much rather watch like an animated version of it, like like I said, Guillermo del Toro's like version, or at least take on it.
yeah, because it is interesting. Because I mean, you know how most of those classic Disney movies, I mean, they're based upon fictional other stories that Disney just happened to do some of them, and they're
Yeah,
the
like
most iconic
Pinocchio's
versions. But yeah,
Pinocchio's based on the Italian on an Italian story of the same name.
yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll watch it nonetheless, and I guess whenever
I
I
mean,
do
it's
watch it,
free,
I'll
like because
probably
like you already have
yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah,
So
so there's no harm for me as long as I didn't do the pay premiere, which I'm not seeing it with this one. So it's just gonna be like just a regular as long as you have the subscription itself. So no harm, no foul with watching it or whatever though. But that's pretty much gonna do it in terms of that one little bit of pop culture segment stuff. So we'll go ahead and switch over to what's in the gaming news. All right, so a little bit, I don't know if you can kind of consider it as breaking news. I guess you can consider it for breaking news for today because I had everything planned out for all my topics last night. But this happened to pop up, I think, earlier this morning, though. But yes, it does seem like, GoldenEye 007. I know I reported about this earlier before. I think it was like one of my earlier ZardCast episodes, I think way back in January, if I remember right, how there was like some stuff and it was in kicking being kicked around the rumor mill. I think we heard some achievement things kind of going around now, but now you can officially pull it up on the Microsoft website and you can actually see the achievements for 007 now. So it makes me kind of think, you know what, this thing might be right
so
around the corner.
so it's an unannounced remaster. Then,
Yeah,
if that's the case, that'd be
yeah,
cool.
yeah, which it'll be really cool because at least from what I'm hearing and from certain reports and some inside stuff or from some other people though, what it seems like is because you know how it is with the whole the ownership of GoldenEye 007, it was basically Nintendo tied with Rare, tied with MGM, and all that other stuff. Now Nintendo bought Rare. So basically, if this game were to come
A
out, the way
Nintendo
how
bought Rare.
not Nintendo bought Rare. Wait, did I say that?
Yeah, you said Nintendo bought Rare. I think you mean to say Xbox bought Rare.
No, I mean Xbox bought Rare. My bad. Xbox bought Rare. I don't know why I said. I wish Nintendo bought Rare and they messed up during that time though. Anyway, but yeah, so because of all of that, the way how I see this playing out is there's gonna be like the remaster version on the Xbox. I feel like that's gonna be a thing. And then on the Nintendo side of things, I feel like they're gonna drop the vanilla version of GoldenEye on the Switch Online. And also that remaster that's probably gonna be on the Xbox version. I would I wouldn't be surprised they also had that on Switch. I don't It's nothing crazy graphically or whatever. So you can also have that on the Switch for people that don't have the Switch online service but is willing to pay whatever the cost of this game will be, like what, maybe $20, something like that, 20, $25 or whatever they want to price it as. So basically you have the option of doing the remaster version on both platforms or the vanilla classic, which is only available on the Switch online version. That's the way I kind of see it, how this stuff is playing out though. But you got any thoughts on this?
It's just it'd be really cool to see it like actually like happen. But other than that, it's like an old game. It'd be really cool to just play it one more time with the bros. Not much to say.
Yeah, because I remember playing this game. What was it? I was in college, and shoot, we were playing this mess up to like no, not college. I was in high school for a camp or something like that. It was lead up almost to college. It might have been like junior, senior year, something like that. But it was me and a bunch of other guys playing this thing like almost like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was some really good fun playing that with 4 players on the N64 though. So yeah, so if this is true, I really hope that this is the case because I mean I will play the classic version, and if they drop the remaster also on the Switch, I'll probably will get that as well. Probably dabble with both. But I'll probably be predominantly playing the remaster one. But yeah, so honestly, I really do look forward to this. I feel like it could drop sometime this month. I would not be surprised because it'll be a digital release. So I don't think they're ever gonna do anything with physical. And we do know we had the Xbox Bethesda showcase thing that happens next week, next Sunday. So they could get announced then, and then you'll probably see Nintendo turn around and they'll say something like immediately after the show is over or something like that with their versions though. So it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it in terms of the GoldenEye 007 stuff. So I did have to squeeze that up in there though. So we'll go ahead and switch over to the next topic. That being, oh shoot, Sonic, Sonic. You know, for a lot of people, they have a love relationship with this character. For me, it's more like a love hate. I play some really good games in this series, but then some other ones, I'm like, I just felt a little average on, or I looked at other ones, I was like, I'm not going to give you the time of day or anything like that. Though, honestly, it seemed promising at first when we got like the CGI trailer. Like we could tell they're going to go open world. We're like, oh shoot, Sonic's going to do something he's never done before. I mean, sure, we had like open-ish games with like the adventure games, but not like open world like what Frontiers is going to be. Then we got the gameplay. First, they showcase off the world, and then secondly, they showed off the combat. And oh crap, I don't see anything too hot right here. What do you got to say, Sonic? I'll let you start first.
There's like a lot of things to say. It looks bad, bland, boring. It honestly makes me just not want to get Sonic Origins as well.
Oh goodness.
Nah, it's like Sega. It's like stop trying to try like new shit with Sonic. You don't know what you're doing. Stick to the adventure formula or like the boost formula, not this like ooh, like head in a new direction, Lamau. It's been like years since we had a good Sonic game. Like Mania came out like 2017, and then
Yeah.
Sonic Forces happened, and then Sonic's coming back with with the movie, and then we're back to this shit again.
Sonic has the most weird inconsistency ever. It's crazy. And the way how they're covering this thing out for the whole month of June, IGN is doing like an IGN first. So you're basically getting all your Sonic news straight from them. So
Like like the most boring aspect is that like there's no momentum in it. Like you don't like go up a hill and you're like you go slow, right? But when you go down a hill, you don't like speed up or anything. It's just
it's kind of like
bland.
you get the boost, but it remains. It's not like a gradual like what you're
No, like
talking
apparently
about.
the boost
Yeah.
is like at random too, so you don't really like.
Hmm.
No, and I don't like the combat either. It's just kind of boring. I'm wondering if there's like an upgrade system to it, but other than that,
I mean,
nah.
there
I'm
may. I
just
don't
gonna
know. Yeah,
I'm
because
just
it's
gonna
like
sleep on it.
yeah, because the way how they showcase this thing off, it's weird because at first on one day they just showcase off the world and stuff. And I always been saying this. I feel like Sonic is too fast for his own good in the 3D space, not in the 2D space. 2D it works out great, but in the 3D space, I feel like it's more of a hindrance ever since we got past generations. Is what most people kind of like as their last good 3D Sonic games. Forces it rubbed some people the wrong way, but it wasn't absolutely like 100% trash. But then
What are
when
you
you look
talking
at
about?
this, no,
No,
I mean, no,
no, it was
for me, no,
100%
no,
garbage.
for Forces, Sonic Forces, yeah, Sonic Forces, right? Yeah,
I
at least for
paid,
me, in my personal opinion,
I
I put
paid
it in the middle of the
$10.
road.
I
You
paid
paid
ten
ten
dollars for
bucks,
that shit, and I still felt ripped off.
dang. For me, I was like, I wish I would have paid like half the price, and then I would have been like somewhat ish, okay ish. I mean, for me, it was a middle of the experience thing though. But honestly, after looking at Frontiers, if I actually would have paid this price, and shoot, what if the PS5 version was $70, and then you were to compare it to Forces? Okay, I don't know. That's another
Sonic
discussion for
Forces
another day.
wasn't released at full price, but like it's still a rip off. It was
Yeah.
hot garbage. No, I wouldn't even say it was okay or like okay, it was alright. No, I would not say that. It was garbage.
Mhm. But back on Frontiers though, the way how they showcase this thing off, I don't know why they split it up into one as an overworld thing, and then two the second trailer just showing the combat. Because as I said, Sonic's too fast for his own good. At first, I was like, "Oh, cool, this world looks nice and stuff." But then the more and more they showed that 7 minutes worth of footage, it was like, all right, he was whipping around, but I was like, what kind of substantial thing can Sonic do or interact with the environment that might make things change? Sure, you can climb up some towers. Sure, you can fight like this big old boss that kind of seemed like it was out in the middle of nowhere or whatever, though. There's a bunch of grind rails, jump pads, platforms everywhere where you can take the low ground, the mid ground, and all of this stuff, though. But beyond that and a few puzzle elements, I'm like, I wasn't seeing a lot more in the environment. And that's what sort of kind of rubbed me the wrong way at first. And then it got amplified even more when you looked at the combat. And literally, correct me if I'm wrong, Sanikyu, but didn't it only look like Sonic had four moves that they showcased for that whole entire 7 minutes for the combat?
It honestly felt like that.
Because he had
Just
like the flurry kick, he
he
had
had the
like his,
fucking kick from the fight with Zavok where like you just like there was like a quick time event where you go up to him and you start bashing on him. And that was it. And that's what they reused in like the like flurry kick thing.
yeah, yeah, he had the flurry kick. I think he had like
There's like
the,
a lot of reused assets from Forces, and that's like
yeah.
that's the bad part about it. Like you're using assets from like a very shit game.
Because it was the flurry kick, the honing attack.
Only
It was like
attack
a
is
speed
whatever.
zip around thing, and then there's one more thing I just can't remember off the top of
It's
my
like they're
head
trying to
though.
copy Astral Chain, where like
It's
you make a circle around them, then you do attack on them.
oh yeah, that circle, yeah, what you do, and then they just get launched up in the air, and then you just go from there. Yeah, I see that. No man, I don't know. I think for the rest of this month, they said they got some like developer interviews and stuff like that, and then a couple other stuff though. But outside of that, I felt like they could have even marketing this thing. This is just kind of weird. I've seen some people like do like trailers with the combat and the overworld and stuff that look a lot better and a lot more promising than the way how they've been kind of showcasing this off. I mean,
Like
it,
they were using footage that had like debug in it, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like that's something that shouldn't even be in a trailer if you're trying to like sell a game to someone.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel really mixed on this. Hacks is feeling really good because he made that bet with all of us. He was like, hey, if it's good, I'll get all y'all a copy. If not, then well, let
Oh
that be
well,
it though. But shoot, he's feeling pretty safe now. I was like, you know what, man? I was like, you're good. But yeah, so you got anything else on Sonic, or we'll move on to the next thing?
like how hard is it to make a fucking game?
Man, I told you, man, Sonic,
Well,
dang, dang,
I
Sonic.
well, actually never mind. I'll take that bet. It is hard, but like Sonic's not like Sonic is like super fucking old. Just make an Adventure 3. My God.
I don't know why. I really would love an Adventure 3. Why they hadn't, I don't know. It's Sega we're talking about. Oh boy. Well, we could probably talk about this for forever though, but we got a lot more stuff to talk about though. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to another little interesting bit of Sega news away from just Sonic himself though, because apparently a Sega Mega Drive Mini 2 was actually announced. Because I remember there was like some reports of Sega saying, "Hey, we got some big news or something to share or whatever." Though it was mostly on the Japanese side of things, though. And then lo and behold, the day came, and right now, it only seems like it's releasing in Japan. We have no news or confirmation that it will be coming over here to the West just yet, though. But let me just read out some of these games that's going to be out on. Yeah, 'cause it's going to be out in Japan on October the 27th, and it should include 50 games, including Sega CD. So they actually made some, jumps from just what would be considered just the Genesis, and now they actually have the CD with it as well. But like 11 games that were revealed, it was like Bonza Bros, Fantasy Zone, Magical, oh golly, Totoro Cone, Mansion of Hidden Souls, Potful Mail, Shining Force CD, Shining in the Darkness, Silk Feed, Sonic CD, Thunder Force 4, and Virtual Racing. That's just like 11 of the 50 games that we know that's basically confirmed at this point right now, though. But you got anything to say about that, Sonic? Alrighty. Well, I was just thinking I'll just let people know because I know at least for me, I'm not like a die-hard Sega fan. I mean, the most Sega related stuff I deal with is Sonic when he's good, when he's good. And then Persona, and then some other SMT stuff. Like I'm kind of looking forward to potentially getting Soul Hackers 2 this year, though. But outside of that, I don't do like a crap ton of Sega stuff though. Just a few things here and there though. But for the diehard Sega fans, the people that might have grew up on the Genesis or the or some people refer to as the Mega Drive over there if you happen to be in Europe or whatever though, or if you grew up maybe eventually we'll get a Dreamcast Mini. I know hacks will be probably jumping through the roof if we ever get that though. But it always seems like Sega's only really interested in just the Genesis and I feel like there's like one other thing they're always referring to, but I feel like this is primarily just the Genesis stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out to you though. So just some little quick news right there though. So we'll go ahead and jump over the next major bit of news because we did manage to get the trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. I did do a video on my channel discussing all the new stuff I saw in the trailer, breaking it down on some of the stuff with the information news on the website though. So you can kind of already hear some of my thoughts on it right now, though. But I kind of want to hear some of your thoughts, though. First, Sanikyu, what did you think of what was showed in the trailer so far?
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, for Scarlet and Violet.
I liked it. I
Hmm,
thought it was good so far.
good so
Like,
far.
yeah. I just
Yeah,
don't want any like new fucking gimmick. I don't want like the next D Max or G Max. I don't want any of that. Just keep it simple.
I like how you say you want to keep it simple though, but you know they're gonna put something up in there because
Well,
technically
if they're
it
if they're gonna if they're gonna do that, then just bring back Mega Evolutions. They're way better.
it would be nice. I don't know if they will, but I did want to point this out because every time when you look at a new Pokemon game, if you look at the logos for the Japanese box cover games, they always have something in the actual Pokemon name where or at least the new title for the game where it shows like some item ish thing that kind of confirms what is going to be associated with the new element. Like you saw it with Gen 6 being Mega Evolution, the Z Crystal for Sun and Moon, and then like the little symbol for the Dynamaxing thing or Gigantamaxing thing for the Galar region though. But this one, when you look at the logos, it kind of showcases off a crystal and I was like, okay. And then even so, at the very tail end of this trailer, you saw the Pokeball flying through, and you saw a bunch of crystals, making that little crystally sound, at the very tail end of the trailer. So something dealing with crystals is gonna be what the new element or feature is gonna be with this game. Now, I had seen some people kind of talking online, like, what if there was like a past future form of certain Pokemon or something like that. Because we do know that based upon the professor's names and stuff like this, and as well as the two box art legendaries, it does seem like there's gonna be a past future thing going on. So where my guess is whatever that crystal is gonna have some kind of element dealing with past and future, maybe with certain kind of forms of certain Pokemon. That's gonna be my guess. That's what I'm gonna throw out there though. But hearing all that, Sonic, you got any thoughts on that?
No,
All right, and that
like
was just oh good.
I don't know. Just there's just not a lot to talk about on from the trailer because other than that, they are reusing the same engine from Legends Arceus, which is nice that they're doing that. And the one thing I am glad about that trailer is that they're keeping well, I don't know how the extent of it, but they are keeping the different sizes. The actual size of Pokemon should be.
Oh, the scaling size, like how we
Yeah, the
saw in
scaling size. Like Flabébé was really tiny.
yeah. Which I do like that because at least that'd be really cool because like you shouldn't be seeing a Gyarados and a Munchlax or something like that both being the same size. That just be kind of weird though. But yeah, so I do like that, and I think the biggest thing they probably showcase off in that trailer that I do like is the fact that we know in the past with Sword and Shield, you got the whole wild area, but you were able to pump in like a whole bunch of visitors, and you just saw them randomly running through the area, kind of running off in the air and stuff. We saw some weird old crap. At least when you were connecting with people online, though. But it seems like this one might be a little more constrained because they did show that you can join up to like with three other people, so a grand total of four people going through and adventuring through the wild and stuff. So that is going to be pretty cool in itself. Thinking, hey, y'all hub together like a monster hunter or whatever though, y'all drop up in like one game or something like that, and you just kind of go around catching Pokemon, doing all that kind of stuff though. And the interesting thing is when I went through the website and I was covering it in that video, they did say that the story is not going to constrain you, so you can basically go anywhere whatever you want to do, which does kind of bring into question. It does seem like at least for all the gyms, since you could go anywhere now, it does seem like there's going to be some type of level scaling that will be available in the game. Thus, that means that you can do any gym in any order, so everybody can have a different experience if that be the case. And that would be one big thing I'll be really looking forward to with these games. And at least I know whenever I reveal that to you, Sanikyu, you're like, oh, thank goodness, that was kind of cool though. But yeah. So, any other last thoughts on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
They're making good Game Freak.
Look, let's hope. I feel like based on the stuff we got so far, I feel like it's already has to be better than Sword and Shield. At least from what I'm seeing already. I actually kind of like the way how they're kind of approaching this game a little bit differently. And at least now you don't have to deal with the whole blowback of the national decks thing, because at least that's pumped through people's systems. They kind of don't expect that now. So we'll see in terms of how they deal with the open world aspect and see how well they can actually manage to produce that though. But that's pretty much it in terms of that. So we'll go ahead and switch over to another little bit of Nintendo news. That being the Mario Strikers Battle League. They did release the demo for this, and for the online playtest, it ended today at like noon Pacific time. That was like the last playtest for it though. I actually managed to try it out. I want to say 3 or 4 times already. So it was actually really good. From everything I played with it, I'm really looking forward to playing this game this upcoming Friday when it actually releases, though. But man, oh man, I hadn't. Ooh man, my blood hadn't boiled that much with a Nintendo game since sometimes I'll be playing Smash or maybe Splatoon 2. Like I feel like this almost has esports potential, but with the crazy amount of items it can use, I mean they might have to turn that mess off if you were gonna try to really make it esports related though. But the way how they got this combat and stuff set up in this game though, I just been digging it with the slide tackles, the lobbing of the passes, straight shots stuff, angling your shots at the goal and stuff like that. The charge shot is a little different. You have to get like charge orb and then touch that first, so that way you can actually use your specialized charge shot. Because back in the GameCube day, which I did manage to get a copy of it for the GameCube, you can always use it at any given time as long as like it was your main character like Mario. But if you had like the duplicate toads out on the field, they couldn't use it or whatever though. But now anybody can use it. It's just only whenever they get the orb though. So you're playing a little offense, defense, trying to get those orbs as soon as they pop up and stuff like that though. So the game has impressed me. I know I'll be getting it at launch though. But it doesn't seem like, unfortunately, at least out of our little friend group, it might just be primarily me and maybe one other person though. But outside of that, most of y'all are saying that y'all either gonna wait for a sale or what you've seen so far hasn't hugely interested you. But you got anything to piggyback or say off of that?
Oh, I didn't really see any of the things from the demo or anything. I just don't care to get it.
Uh See, yeah, that's where I was thinking you were probably at though. Have you played any of the other Strikers games, like the Wii or the GameCube one?
I played on the GameCube.
How did you like the GameCube one? I'm just curious.
I don't even remember.
Okay.
I remember liking it, but other than that, like I don't remember like too much of it because like I played it when I was a kid.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, just
The
real
only
dumb.
like Mario sport game I remember having fun with was Sluggers.
Wait,
You know, the
what was?
baseball
Oh, the
one,
baseball one. But Sluggers on. Wait, what console?
the GameCube.
The GameCube one. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah, that
heard
one
some
was fun.
good things about that one though, and I don't know had they managed to make like a good baseball game since then.
I don't know.
Mhm. Because yeah, because I feel like baseball. I feel like because right now we have tennis out of the way, we have golf out of the way, and soon we're about to get soccer out of the way. I feel like the last sport game would
But
be
like a lot
baseball.
of, I like how you just named off a bad sports game, another bad one.
Yeah, I mean, I was just listening to all of them. I didn't say if they were good or bad. I was just listening to facts. I mean, we got three so
I
far.
don't know. I feel like Giratina had it right, or like, well, like lately the sports games they've been like pushing out haven't really been all that too good. They've just been like
Yeah,
meh or like whatever. Like, cause
yeah,
I can understand why they he doesn't like them either. Same with Sonic.
yeah. Because like golf, there was really nothing in golf that really kind of interested me at all. I even heard like some people actually preferred like the N64 version of golf because at least in that one you had mini golf and some other stuff like that. So people really like the N64 version of golf. But that one that they did with the Switch, there really wasn't anything in there. The one that might have interested me the most was maybe tennis, and probably because they had the story mode. I remember they did like a game trials with that one, so I played a decent chunk of Mario Tennis Aces while they had that up for about a week. I didn't get through the whole entire story mode, but that was about the extent of what I was basically able to go through and play through the game though. But honestly, it was okay. It wasn't nothing great, at least for me. Unless I saw that game for like extremely dirt cheap, I wasn't gonna pick that one up. But I have seen enough good stuff with Mario Strikers. The cool thing is you're able to play this game online. You have the battle leagues and stuff like that, so you could be having a team of four versus another team of four, or you can just randomly play quick matches against other people, you versus one other person though. So I mean it's probably the online element that's really interesting to me, because honestly, if there wasn't an online element with this, but you can only do it with local or just by yourself, then I would skip out on this entirely. But thankfully, they're leaning pretty heavy on the online aspect, and that's what really got me.
All right. I didn't want to interrupt you on that
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing,
go
but
ahead.
like I do need to use the restroom real quick. So
Oh yeah, yeah, go ahead, man. But yeah, so I think for the most part though, um, yeah. So Mario Strikers, if you really like competitive games and you didn't play the demo, I would have felt bad for anybody that might have played or not have missed the demo, because Nintendo only has did it for like what, two times on Friday, three times on Saturday, two times on Sunday. I feel bad though, but I did manage to stream my experience with there, so that is up on the channel if you want to check out some of my Mario Strikers Battle League stuff. And I will be playing this game again on launch day, not on YouTube like how I normally would do some stuff though. I mean, I'll be doing it on Twitch this time around though, since I already kind of got some footage from there thanks to the online demo though. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this though. Hopefully, I can have a whole lot of fun up on this though, because I feel like this is, out of all the sports games we got so far, it's the most promising in comparison to Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf. Is it called Super Rush or something like that? I don't know, something like that though. But anyway, though, so that's pretty much it in terms of the Mario Strikers Battle League stuff that I had to go through and talk about right now though. So we'll go ahead and jump over to our next little bit of news. That being, we did get some news that half of PlayStation's releases will be going to either PC or mobile by the end of 2023, which is kind of interesting because we kind of already got some little fruits of the labor of this little report within the Sony State of Play, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, though. But yeah, it is going to be kind of interesting whenever we get more of these games announced, whenever they decide to actually put more of these things on mobile and PC, which I think for the most part, like for example, they already put God of War, I think, already on PC. And I think original Horizon, I believe, is already on PC um as well though, because yeah, because they've been already pushing some stuff on there. You got those Sony ponies out there that really like their exclusivity and stuff like that. We probably got really salty. I didn't see too many of them online, at least on Twitter, whenever they mention about this little bit of thing, and as well as what we're getting here soon, what we're about to talk about in the state of play though. Um but yeah, so honestly, and that's the other thing. The fact they're also going to say PC, I mean, not PC, the fact they also say mobile as well, that makes me think, are they going to actually create like whole new experiences, kind of like how Nintendo did with some of their mobile games as well? Um, that's honestly what makes me think. That's honestly what makes me think that at least for me with the PC kind of stuff, or not PC, the mobile kind of stuff, I'm just kind of curious how they're going to handle that, because at least for PC, most people are going to be like genuinely pretty excited on it though. But in terms of the mobile kind of stuff, I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to handle that. Like how they're going to do like a random God of War thing online or something like that for it though, or I'm trying to think of any other kind of games. Maybe Ratchet and Clank might fit pretty well with that. I don't know, because most of their games are pretty graphically intensive though, so I don't really see a lot of them coming to PC unless they're trying to think about, I'm not PC. I always like saying PC on their mobile, unless they're talking about potentially streaming the games from like either your PS5 or PS4 or something like that to your mobile phone, which I guess that's also a possibility though. But then again, not a lot of people technically have really good solid internet connection where they can also be able to pull that mess off though. But yeah, so that's pretty much it in terms of that quick report. I know Sonic, you probably wouldn't have said too much on that though, but there is one story segment in the Sony State of Play where he can basically give his 2 cents up on it though, because it is kind of funny the way how we were kind of talking about this before the state of play, and then we kind of saw some fruits of labor with this one little statement right there though. But that's basically going to do it with that though. So yeah, so that's it for that, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the last major topic of the night, that being the Sony state of play that happened recently, just a few days ago. And man, oh man, at first I was kind of worried about this thing because originally they announced that they were only going to do third parties and PlayStation VR 2, which already kind of sunk in my mind. I was like, well, without any first party games, it made me think, could this had not been like their what would have been like an E3 showcase, their E3 showcase, if you want to call it that, because we know Sony hasn't participated in E3 for like the past couple of years. I think ever since like almost like the year before COVID or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a while since they've been there though. So honestly, well, I wasn't really expecting too much with this. I was almost expecting more of a big blowout with the PlayStation VR 2 side of things because we know that that's in development. They're about to release it here fairly soon. And they did announce some PlayStation VR 2 games that are slated to release this year. So we do know that that PSVR 2 is supposed to release this year. We just hadn't gotten a release date for it. We hadn't gotten a price point for it though, because I know that sucker is gonna be pretty expensive whenever that thing does launch. Because the fact that I mean, think about it. You have to get the PS5 that costs like $500, and then you got to turn around and get a headset. Which the headset I think on the PS4 was already it's either 300 or $400. But going off of that same logic, at least this this new PlayStation VR 2, I know it's going to at least cost at least $400 by itself. So you're thinking getting the console's 500, then getting that is going to cost another $400. So then it's like you're almost looking at 900, almost to 1,000 across the board, just getting fully set up if you started at zero without the PS5 to begin with, though. But I guess in comparison to like the Oculus Quest, that's a little more. I feel like that's more it's an easier barrier to break, I think, because that's just a headset. But then there's some other headsets I can't remember off the top of my mind that I think kind of sync up to your PC that are like way more expensive. Like we're talking about a couple or a few $1,000s or something like that. It's crazy to think how much how expensive VR is though. But I wish there was a way how Sony could have sold VR too without necessarily having you to have the PS5 to be able to hook up to. So yeah, so at least that's the small little talk, at least with the PlayStation VR 2 though. But in terms of the state of play though, I say it was really good. It was pretty phenomenal because the way how they kicked this sucker off, shoot, that kind of set the whole tone for the rest of the state of play. Because the first thing that we got confirmed was Resident Evil 4 Remake was announced. Now, technically, I think everything's been going according to plan to that Capcom Giga Leak that happened like a couple of has it been a couple of years now? Something like that. With that Capcom Giga Leak where they showcased off a whole bunch of games in that big document, and this happened to be one of them. So we knew that this was kind of being in the works though, and I was like, dang, I was like, I knew that this was gonna pop off right off the bat though. I know this is something Sanikyu was probably really hyped about and excited for, and hopefully he hops back up in there soon so he can give his thoughts on it though. But it wasn't just Resident Evil 4 remake stuff that we got news for. They did mention that there is going to be like a Resident Evil 4 remake, but a VR version for it for I think the PlayStation VR 2. So there is a little bit of that. And as well for Resident Evil 7, there is going to be for Resident Evil 7, there's also going to be an update for it to where it's also going to be with PlayStation VR 2, which honestly, golly, man, that'd be something crazy to go through and play through a whole Resident Evil game, especially these more modern ones like this with VR. Like those games are naturally kinda scary-ish. Like I'm thinking more like Resident Evil 2. I don't know how scary Resident Evil 7 was. 4 really wasn't, unless they make this remake version like quite drastically different with the way how graphically how much better it might possibly look though. But man, I can only imagine how crazy this game will look like that though. So yeah, so honestly, that's most of my thoughts on Resident Evil 4. We'll probably talk about it here a little bit more from Sonicu's viewpoint here in just a bit though. But let me go ahead and talk about a game that I was personally excited about, but I know Sanikyu, from what I talked to him already, he wasn't genuinely excited on Pawn. He wasn't really a big fan of it though, and that was Eternights. Out of all the games that they showcase off in this state of play, that's probably the one that kind of caught me by surprise the most. Because, because apparently, oh shoot, there's a little story behind this one too. Because apparently, the creator for Eternights, he this is something that he said basically. Whenever they announced the game originally, though, I'm trying to see if I can pull this thing back up here real quick because the story behind it though was actually fairly funny though. But I think I remember the most the gist of it behind it though. But anyway, the creator behind it though, originally he played Persona 5, right? And then he really liked and enjoyed that game. So then he turned around and played Persona 4. I think it might have been Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden. And he really liked that game. He turned around and played Persona 3. I think it was probably the Phase or FES version or whatever though. And he liked Persona from 5, 4, and 3 so much that he quit his job and turned around, got a team together, formed another studio just to release or just to make this game that was inspired by Persona. And not even that that this is like one of his like first games making like this with the studio that he just came up. It was so good that they managed to get it up into a Sony state of play. Like holy shoot, like this is the background between that one little tweet that he put up on there. I was like, you know what? That's just setting the tone right there though. And honestly, looking at the game, it seems fairly interesting because it is like it's like an action RPG that it looks like it at face value, and then turn around and then on top of it, it's also like a dating sim game, which I was like, okay, I was not
Ew.
technically expecting that. Oh, now you're
Ew.
back, bruh. I was gonna ramble on about Eternites real quick, and we'll jump back to Resident Evil 4. So you hadn't missed too much though. But but yeah, so it was a combination of those two genres, and I don't know if it was because it looks super anime or what, but that game was somewhat speaking to me. I'm not like 100% for it, but I think if I were to give a percentage right now, I'm probably at like a toasty 70 to 75%. So well over the 50% marker, at least right now, though. But yeah, I kind of like the way how it visually looked. The combat looked kind of fairly cool and stuff like that, though, and it does seem like this is slated to release in sometimes early 2023. Can't remember if they said spring or if they said early 2023, but it is 2023 regardless though. So that is a game I'm actually looking forward to. Potentially seeing more information on it or stuff like that though. So I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out on that one though because I don't know. It's just a game that kind of spoke out to me. Now, I think that's basically all I have to say on Eternites. I know you're not a big fan of it, Sonic though. So we'll go ahead and jump back to Resident Evil
N-
4. I already gave my thoughts
no.
on it. So you can go ahead and give your thoughts on Resident Evil 4 or slash the VR2 version of it and the Resident Evil 7 VR2
We're
version of
gonna
that.
get the Ganados. We're gonna get Rasputin, and we're gonna get the village. We're gonna get the island. We're gonna get the castle. All updated graphics. Yeah. Finally, fucking now. And Zard, I swear to God, you have no excuse anymore to play Resident Evil 2 now.
I told you, man, I was probably gonna play Resident Evil 2 in the month of October. I think that's what I got
Yeah,
slated as my stream Halloween game. I'll probably be playing Luigi's Mansion 2 on the side on my 3DS though, but in terms of my stream series one, I'm looking forward to trying to play Resident Evil 2
I
during that
just think
time
it's
slot.
funny how they didn't really show Leon's face. Well, they showed a little bit of it at the end, but they didn't show the entirety of it. They still kept that a little secret because that is
Yeah.
a huge thing. There's literally the game that redefined the genre. Helped feel like there's still like shooting games that still use the same like over the over the shoulder like shooting that Resident Evil 4 like made. Yeah, it's gonna be a game I'm excited for. It's gonna be my game of the year.
Yeah, because it looks pretty good. It looks pretty promising. I think the main thing I think the biggest concern for most people is making sure that in terms of the combat, nothing gets changed too much because for a lot of people, Resident Evil 4 is like one of their favorite games. So I even heard from Sonic, he was like, hopefully they didn't mess with the gameplay too much though. But I feel like from the gist of what I got, I thought I heard some of. either heard sometimes from the developers or something like that. Something where they were like, we're not gonna change that up too much. It says graphically it's gonna look better, and they might do something slightly a little different with the story, not too drastically different from the story, at least from what I got. Unless you heard anything else.
No, they're gonna keep it relatively the same, but they're not gonna keep. I don't know. I want them to keep all the wackiness that Resident Evil 4 had. That was a wacky ass game.
Them round kicks
Like,
though were pretty powerful, man.
well, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about other shit.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me find it for you.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, this game looks
No,
really
like
good,
it's funny because like there's literally like a section where you have to like escape from a fucking statue that's like walking towards you.
bruh.
Oh my god, it's such a funny game.
Now here's the other thing I also want to kind of hear from you is some or the Resident Evil 7 VR2. Let's say if I don't know if you would actually purchase the VR2, but let's say if like a friend had it or something like that, would you be curious going through it and playing through that game again in VR?
No, I'm too poor. I
No,
wouldn't get it.
I was saying like if someone had the headset, so all you had to do is just basically get the game or something like that for VR2. Would you do it? Because I already talked about the price point and stuff of this thing. Like it would probably be stupidly ridiculous in terms of the price, But would you, if you had the opportunity to play it, would you do it?
Yeah, I would.
I was like, they had to pay me a good amount of money because I was like, shoot. I was like, I mean, I already know Resident Evil games are kind of already somewhat scary to begin with, though. But I feel like putting it with VR would probably change the whole name of the game. Like, oh shoot. But yeah, so unless you have anything else to say on Resident Evil, we'll jump over to the next game that was showcased off in the state of play.
Nope.
All right. All right. Well, we'll bounce over to I feel like the next major thing was Street Fighter 6. That was a game that was showcased off. What was it? Was it in the last state of play they mentioned something about it? Or I mean, they showed the CGI trailer for it though, so we knew it was in development or whatever though. And then now we got a new trailer for this one though. And honestly, I remember it. A lot of people were kind of heated on that logo. They didn't like it. At least the logo changed. I don't hear a lot of complaints on that. So at least they fixed that. But I have a feeling maybe they held back on the logo because the logo now, what we're seeing right there, kind of gives away a lot of the theming is what we kind of saw in this second trailer though. But yeah, we saw our boy Ryu, we saw our girl Chung Li and stuff like that back up in here though. The thing that got me kind of interested was the I don't know how you describe it, Sanikyu, like the openness, like how the characters were able to walk around in the world. Like we're used to fighting games, you just fight mono e mono, but it looks like there's a little bit of adventure-ish kind of setting within this game.
Oh, open world?
Yeah, it's like I don't know if open world is the correct term because maybe you're only exploring like this one part of a city. But I mean, the fact that you're able to kind of walk around and maybe you're getting like street brawls with other people, you're just kind of walking around in the city itself. I don't remember seeing that a lot. I feel like no, I thought I heard from somebody that might happen like one of the past Street Fighter games, maybe, but it doesn't consistently happen with Street Fighter games or something like that.
No, it didn't really happen with Street Fighter.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot. If it hadn't happened at all, then yeah, then this would technically be a first if that be the case, though. But honestly, it looks really cool right now. I mean, it from that first trailer we got, it seemed like it was going to be super realistic, but then again, that was CGI. This one we actually got to see some bit of gameplay, and did seem like with some of the combat, it's kind of flashy. It is a little bit colorful. Um, I'm trying to think what was the term for it though. It was colorful with oh, I don't know why it's slipping my mind right now. It might come back and hit me later though, but it just seems like it's a good mix between realistic but also sort of kind of I wouldn't say cartoony ish because like when you hit you have those like colorful art expressions or whatever like graffiti art, yeah, it looks like kind of like some graffiti art kind of ish looking kind of things with some of the hits that you're doing within the game though. But honestly, it looks really cool so far. They did say that the release date for it will be sometime in the year 2023. Hopefully it's about a year from now, maybe summer of 2023. There's no exact window frame besides the year itself, but that's basically all we know about Street Fighter right now, though. But you got anything else to say on this, Sonic Q?
No,
All right, because I think at least for me, I'm somewhat interested in this. The big draw would be whether or not if I'm still having my PlayStation Plus at that point, because I feel like with most fighting games, you get some enjoyment with the single player or whatever, but that only takes you so far to get really good or whatever. You got to be like consistently playing online and stuff like that. So if I keep the online or something like that, then maybe I'll get Street Fighter 6. Who knows? I know Bronto said he kind of wants to get it though, so he might be looking for a PS5 some point soon, at least before this game releases though. So maybe I'll be playing some matches with him though. So maybe we can have a good fun time playing this game though. But it'll be the first Street Fighter game I would play technically since like Street Fighter
Street Fighter
2 on the
2.
SNES. Yes. Like that's how long it's really been though. But yeah, so honestly some good stuff showcased on that trailer. I'm looking forward to hearing some more news about it though. So I think that's almost it in terms of most of the announcements, except for the very big one though. But before we talk about the big one at the very tail end, was there anything else, Sanikyu, that you saw in the state of play that seemed kind of interesting or anything you wanted to kind of point out that we hadn't talked about before?
Honestly, the main big ones were for me were like Resident Evil 4 remake and uh the Street Fighter 6, obviously, and the last one we're gonna talk about.
Okay. Yeah, because I do remember there was one where it was like a cat walking around or something like that.
I
Can't
mean, that
remember.
looked interesting.
It looked interesting, and the interesting
It's
thing about
called
that one,
Stray.
Stray, there we go. The interesting thing about that one was if you have PlayStation the extra or the premium tier, you'll get it at no additional cost. So I'll have the premium tier by that point. So I actually will be able to dabble around with that game and see how that one holds up. So I'm actually looking forward to trying that one out, seeing how interesting that one is, because it looks like you had some stealth elements and some weird wacky stuff with that. Like who would have thought you play a whole game not as like a cat simulator, but as like an actual cat in an actual game. So it is going to be interesting. I'm trying to think, was there anything else noteworthy that they announced? I mean, you had some kind of your artsy kind of related games up in there, and I think you might have what? Oh, you have one where you're kind of like rollerblading around, shooting guns at people, which I was like, what the heck on that one? But I'm trying to think, was there anything else? I feel like that was like probably the ones that probably stuck out the most, at least for me. Nothing else too crazy though. So we'll go ahead and jump into the very last big one, that being Final Fantasy 16. Now that one was one that I know a lot of people have been looking forward to seeing more information on.
Been like
When
two
was the last?
years.
Yeah, the last time they announced it, or not announced it, or I guess technically it was the first announcement of it 2 years ago. But yeah, they showed the first little bit of tease whatever in 2020, and people been wanting to see this in another state of play for like years and years. Took 2 years, and we're finally getting more news on it though. And
Yeah, like it definitely looks way better than it when they first showed off of it.
yeah, because I mean, the main character looked kind of rough. Like he looked like too edgy, like almost too super realistic. And I feel like that kind of toned that mess down a little bit. So I was like, you know what? I appreciate that. Like they got like the fantasy element. Seemed like to pump more of the fantasy element up in this one, though. But it does seem like with the combat, it is different from Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat, though. But it's like more action based, so it's not going to be like turn based. Which for some fans that like Final Fantasy, that kind of they might be fans of the traditional, turn based, but it does seem like Square Enix is kind of pivoting more towards like the action based stuff. So at least the combat that showcased off so far, it's been looking pretty cool. And all those summons, it seems like it's gonna be like a war of summons because like they had Ifrit up on there. And like the one that was like the Titan and stuff, like they showcased off a whole bunch of them. So maybe that's the big thing with Final Fantasy 16.
Maybe.
But yeah, so there was a lot of cool, interesting stuff with this one though. We do know the game is going to be coming out in the year of 2023, assuming if there's no delays. So I'm thinking, knowing Square, it's probably going to be a fall or probably a holiday release. Is probably what they're internally thinking when they're going to try to shoot for this game, unless it got the delay to like spring of 2024, which wouldn't surprise me if that'd be the case though. But at least that's what's going on with this game right now though. Honestly, it's been a hot moment since I played a Final Fantasy game. Like I like seven. Seven's really good, and I played seven remake and stuff like that. I played a bit of 10, and that's been the most of my Final Fantasy experience. Maybe I'll dabble with nine at some point. And then I hadn't heard too many hot things beyond 12 or whatever though. I'm not gonna put any time into Final Fantasy 14 because I don't have time to play big MMORPG. If I were to get into, I wouldn't have time to play anything else though. And then I heard that you really like 15. Some people don't like 15, but you like 15.
I like 15.
So yeah, so honestly, from what they showcase off with 16 so far, I might take the plunge on it. As long as it keeps showing some good elements to it though, I might actually pick this game up whenever it releases though. But yeah, that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now though. But you got any other last thoughts on Final Fantasy 16?
I just I just want them to make the air combat good. I don't like because that's the thing I hated from like said remake. Like the aerial combat was just not up to par. So like the one on the ground.
I don't think a lot of
But we'll
I
see
don't
where
think a
that
lot of
goes.
people fought in the air because I mean like you had
No, there were
Barrett.
some enemies. There were some enemies that you can like that were really hard to hit from the ground. So like
Yeah.
you'd jump and then you'd hit them, but like other than that, there wasn't really much that you could do from
Yeah,
that.
because
And I
I
didn't.
remember doing that with Cloud. Like you jump, you hit like 3 times before you fall down. The most ideal one was using Barrett since he would shoot his gun at him. That
Yeah,
was
but
the
I want to
most,
play Cloud.
unless you use a magic move or whatever though. But yeah, I get you because there were some moments I remember playing through that game. I was like, crap, I need to get a few more hits on this thing, whatever it was. But yeah, I get you on that. Yeah, I do kind of agree on that. But yeah, so outside of that, I think that's pretty much it in terms of most of the news that I had from the past couple of weeks right here though. I do want to say at least with this Sony State of Play, they brought the gameplay. Because usually, at least for most state of plays and stuff like that in the past, it's been some kind of games like you might have like one good game out of there, but then the rest are kind of like or like they always didn't end it with a really good stinger or whatever. Though I will commend them; they did showcase off a lot of gameplay. That's the stuff that most people really care about. CGI can look all cool and stuff for hype, but if the gameplay ain't up to par, then what's the point? And I felt like this was definitely one of State of Play's best Sony's best state of plays they did so far. They started off good with Resident Evil 4 remake. They ended off good with Final Fantasy 16. I mean, some people might say, well, you didn't have really any good first party games. I mean, you did have Horizon, the PlayStation VR 2 thing. I think that was like their only little thing of a first party game that was up in here though. But the fact that they were able to kind of clinch those third party grabs, even though there are going to be multi-plat between this and Xbox and whatever though, the fact that they were able to showcase it all first in their presentation is pretty big and pretty major in itself though. So yeah, so Sony, it seemed like they were the first ones to get their foot out the door. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll have like a Nintendo Direct maybe sometime this week. Maybe. Fingers crossed. If that were to be the case, maybe sometime Monday morning they would announce it if that were to be the case. Because usually they announce their things like a week in advance for like what would be technically E3 or June directs or whatever though. But I don't know, maybe they'll take a different approach with this one, only do 48 hours in advance or something like that. Who knows? And then we know Xboxes has their showcase, Xbox Bethesda has their showcase a week from now, so the next Sunday though. So yeah, so honestly, some really good stuff. Going to be a lot more gaming related news that's going to be coming out here in the foreseeable future though. So yeah, I'm going to be having a lot of videos to make and put out here and some reaction stuff to put out on the channel though. But that's basically going to do it in terms of all the gaming news. Any other last wrap up thoughts on the state of play? What you kind of thought of it as like a whole?
Definitely their best one. Like I don't know. Like when I hear State like, oh, okay, cool. But then like I finished watching this was like, god damn, they really just pulled it off with this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad because I was like, it's only a matter of time. I was like, they always. I remember they used to say at their some of their earliest state of plays, they're like, we're listening to feedback or give us a review or something. They said something on the lines of that for like the first handful of state of plays. Now they don't really say that though, but I feel like now they're taking all that critique. So if they can keep making presentations worthy like this one, then I feel like state of play it could be something to kind of get genuinely kind of hyped about. I don't know. The only thing that's really missing now is just the big first party games and have them launch fairly soon. If they can get that with the combination of everything they did in this presentation, it can almost get up to that Nintendo Direct level of how, like people hype that mess up for the upcoming 24 hours until it's about to launch with the predictions and all of that kind of stuff though. But yeah, I'll say kudos for you, Sony. It's about time these state of plays get better because I own the PS5 and I want to know what good games are coming out on the system. But it finally looks like you're kind of living up to that potential though. But anyway, though, that's basically it in terms of the state of play. So we'll go ahead and jump over to the very next segment over here. So about that show. Alrighty, so in terms of stuff I've been watching lately, I'm trying to think. Didn't I watch a movie? No. I talked about in the last I talked about in my last ZardCast podcast of how I watched Turning Red. I thought I was gonna between now and then, I thought I was gonna sit down and watch the new the Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I still had not sat down and watched that yet. I'm hoping to watch it sometime this upcoming week. I do have some a lot of extra little bit of free time though, so maybe I'll watch it then though. But outside of that, for me, it's just been kind of watching a little bit more anime and stuff. I actually went back and re-binged all of My Hero Academia. I started back at season two because I already watched season one like two or three times already. So I jumped back at season two, watched all the way back up to season five because I do know in the fall, starting around October, they're gonna go into that whole they're gonna go into that whole war arc. And I know I was talking to you off the side, Sanikyu, about some things though. So I got genuinely hyped for that though. It's always interesting going back and rewatching shows when you get to see now that you know all the information you know. When you go back and watch some of the previous seasons, you can see the foreshadowing or the stuff that they were pointing out and telling you like way earlier, and you're like, oh shoot, that ties in and refers to X and Y and Z and all that stuff though. So yeah, so that's honest. I've been watching a lot of My Hero Academia. I've been watching my my traditional seasonal anime, some stuff on the side though, but it's been a lot of that. I have caught all the way back up to the end of season five though, so yeah, so I'm just really looking forward to the start of that new arc whenever we get it. We are getting a couple of ovas that should be releasing. One that's based on like Major League Baseball, but it's baseball with in My Hero Academia. If it's anything like the Dragon Ball Super baseball episode, oh my gosh, it could be great. I don't know why. Some of the weirdest ovas with sports and stuff like that could turn out to be really great. And then I think there's one more. Sonic, do you know that name of the hero, the one with that works underneath Endeavor's agency, the one with green fiery hair? Do you know her name off the top of your head?
No, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, but I know there was like one where they I think they announced it within the past week how they said there was another OVA plan, but it,
I
it
think
had
it's
her and
burning.
Burning or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know, but she looks pretty cool. I was like, I don't know why she slipped my mind before rewatching the whole series again though. But I was like, dang, I hadn't you probably seen her in action maybe in the manga or whatever though, because at the very tail end of season five, it looked like she was commanding a bunch of the UA students to evacuate the city because they had a whole bunch of other heroes at the foot of the mountains that was gonna do their attack against the Paranormal Liberation Front. That is some kind of crazy name right there. I mean, it's definitely better than the League of Villains or whatever though. But yeah, so I feel like we're gonna see her in action soon in season six though. But she seems like a pretty cool character. I don't know. I just like her personality and stuff from what we saw in season five though. But that's mostly what I've been watching here lately though. But have you been watching anything cool?
no,
Nothing at
I
all.
just been
No.
playing Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay. So you've been gaming primarily more than watching anything.
Yeah,
You hadn't watched Morbius, have you?
I'm not going to.
I was just making sure. It's just crazy how to see how much that blew up online because it's crazy because I guess they almost took the they almost took the meme too far to where I think they reopened 1,000 locations to stick that movie back in theaters, but they only made a profit of $85,000, which was kind of a slap in the face. I was like, oh shoot, that. I was like, dang. I was like, y'all, that ain't good at all. So not only did it flop once, it flopped twice. Man, oh goodness. I don't know. It's just crazy to see that meme man everywhere though. But yeah, so I think that's gonna basically do it for the what have you been watching segment though. So we're gonna go ahead and jump over to our very last segment, that being so what you been playing. All right, so instead of having me start off first, I'm gonna have you start off first, Sonic U. Besides Monster Hunter, which I know You're the Monster Hunter
Like all
guru at this point.
like all I've been playing, Jared. I haven't really
Bruh.
been playing anything else. I'm getting ready for Sunbreak
Oh yeah, because when is Sunbreak? Does Sunbreak release this week?
this month.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was releasing this Friday, but maybe it's later. Because I think you have to be like at a certain point in the game with the base story, which I know you're well
I'm gonna tell
beyond
you
that.
right now, Zard, you're gonna need at least 60 hours to get into the Sunbreak.
Oh shoot,
I'm telling you to start right now, but you don't want to.
bruh. I just know it's gonna be a lot. I need you to break your. I need you to sling me on your back. You're gonna break you're gonna break a part of your spine and maybe break a few ribs, but I need you to carry me them full 60 hours, man.
Well, I'm literally telling you to start right now, but you don't want to.
Bruh. No, it's more like I always have like a whole bunch of stuff I'm trying to get through and play. I don't know. And then it's like Monster Hunter's always in the back. But I'm like, I'll get to it eventually. I'll get to it eventually. And shoot, if it doesn't happen by the time Mario Strikers comes out, then good
You
luck.
spent like over $500 on a game that you barely put like 2 hours in.
Now I didn't
Come on,
spend no
Zard.
$500. I really do like the way how the Pro
You
Controller
spent
looks
you
really
got the
cool.
Pro
I did like
controller,
that.
you
The
got
mo-
the
I needed a new
special
Switch
edition,
anyway. I
you got
needed a
the
new Switch
amiibos, you
anyway,
got the
so it didn't
Switch.
matter. The amiibos look cool, and I know they were going to be like limited or not limited. Like I know the value of it was going to go up over time. So I was like, I just like everything with the atmosphere of Monster Hunter. It's just sitting down and getting through all that combat and getting used to it because there's a whole it's like a really big pill to swallow. I feel like like that SpongeBob episode where they swallow that huge pill or something like that, where it's like it takes up their whole body or something like that. Like it's just a big pill to swallow, and I always feel like it's partially intimidated on it because I was thinking I could do it as a stream series, but then I figured out real quick. I was like, unless I play this thing pretty consistently, I'm gonna forget just as much stuff as I'm putting up in this. And then since then, I just hadn't put the time up into it though. I don't know. Maybe someday. Someday. I don't know. But yeah, so I know you've been playing that predominantly on PC because I know you've been liking that because you get the 60 frames per second and the 4K and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's all you've been playing, at least for me on my end, I mean, like I said earlier, I've been playing quite a bit of the Mario Strikers demo stuff. I've been doing that and occasionally some Splatoon 2, and I've been picking up and been playing a little bit more Smash lately. I don't know, I've been kind of feeling like I've been in a little bit of a lull because I know there's gonna be a lot of games coming out here fairly soon. Like in the month of June alone, we'll have Mario Strikers Battle League. We'll have Fire Emblem Three Hopes. We'll have the Sonic collection thing for the 2D games. Though I might have to pass on it a little later. A little birdie told me there is a chance that um we could be getting the not Sonic, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge on June the 16th. Just keep that in mind. We might be getting it here fairly soon. If that be the case, we'll probably see that at the Xbox Bethesda showcase, maybe, or unless Jeff Keighley does something with Summer Game Fest and they actually say the announced date of it though. But I feel like that one's right around the corner, and if that one does happen to come out, then for sure I'm pushing back the Sonic thing until like maybe it goes on sale or something like that. Then you turn around in July, you have Live Alive, you have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I mean, shoot, this stuff starts picking up like rapid fire. And then later in September, you got Splatoon 3. So I mean, I feel like things is about to pick up. So I've just been kind of going through and playing some stuff. Hopefully, I can manage to. And occasionally, I've been playing some Dream Drop Distance on the side. I do plan on streaming that game a little later on this week. I believe on Tuesday night or Tuesday evening. I'm gonna be streaming some more. Or I'm gonna be streaming Dream Drop Distance. I think I remember streaming like some games of it on Twitch. Or at least I think I almost had a habit of streaming at least whatever Kingdom Hearts game I've been currently active on. I at least streamed that one. Like I know I streamed what was it? Shoot, why are these names slipping from my mind now? I know I streamed gosh, the prequel one, the first game that happened, Birth by Sleep. Golly, I don't know why that slipped from my mind for a split second. I know I streamed Birth by Sleep. I'm about to do Dream Drop Distance. I can't remember. I think I streamed Kingdom Hearts 2 way back when. So I had a habit of at least streaming one of those games out on my Twitch though. But yeah, so make sure to kind of keep an eye on my Twitch because I am gonna be streaming a game almost every single night. Tuesday will be Dream Drop Distance. Wednesday is gonna be Splatoon 2. Gonna plan to play that with my bro Bronto. Thursday was gonna be a fight night, so it'd be a little bit of Fighter Z, a little bit of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. If any of y'all are like you, or no, you don't. Do you own Fighter Z, Sanikyu?
Uh,
That's what I was thinking. I
yeah, I
didn't.
do.
Oh, you
I
do.
have it on
Okay.
Switch.
I don't think I ever. I don't think I ever
We
played
did
against
play.
you. We
Yes,
did.
we did.
Oh
Yes, we
shoot.
did.
Oh, okay. Well, crap. It's been so long though. Like the last person I think I remember playing against was Alexis because he always likes using Broly. But I was planning on playing that and a little bit of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax on Thursday. Do like Thursday Friday night, fight night. Friday night I was gonna be doing the Mario Strikers Battle League stuff because that's the day of launch on that. I'm gonna be doing it on Twitch instead of doing it on YouTube since I already got footage from it from the demo on YouTube already. And then Saturday night is gonna be like a free for all any multiplayer game though on that night though. So yeah, this is the first week that I actually have like a full blown schedule. So you can actually check that underneath the schedule tab underneath my Twitch tab. But yeah, so quite a bit of stuff. If you happen to miss any of those will go down as like Monday night chill premiere streams on my YouTube side of things. So the stuff will be dumped on YouTube at a later point, though. But yeah, so I do have all of that to look forward to. So that's pretty much all the stuff I've been going through and playing through. But yeah, that's basically gonna do it in terms of that. And I think we actually managed to get through all the topics that I had scheduled out for tonight, though. So as you say, Sonic, you got another one done. Got another one done.
Yee.
But yeah, man. So a lot of good stuff that happened this week. Really curious to see exactly what's going to happen with some of the other future announcements because we're in the month of June. There's always going to be something good being announced or revealed, or maybe even shadow drop for the rest of this month. Though, I would love to do an Xbox Bethesda showcase live reaction, but that sucker happens like at like peak noon, and of course I'm at work, so I can't do that. So I'll have to do like a recap video on that some point later that Sunday or Monday or something like that, maybe later that week or something like that though. But yeah, so hopefully we get the Nintendo Direct here fairly soon. Maybe we need to sit down and do it like a predictions video. I kind of want to do that. I don't know. It all depends though. So I don't know. I got a lot of stuff kind of running with some of my plans and stuff like that though. But Sonic, you tell our fine viewers where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at Sanikyu, like 2 years at the end. And on my on the bio, they'll find all my links to my Twitch, to my YouTube, and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. Go and visit Sonic U out. He streams some good games. He streams some good games. If you're a big Monster Hunter fan, then I'm pretty sure he got some points and tips
I've
on that.
been I've been thinking of streaming Resident Evil 4 remake. I have the game. I say that, but I just have the HD project mod, which I finally got working.
Oh, you did,
Yeah, so it's gonna be at 4K resolution on my end.
bro. So yeah, so some good stuff from him though. But I think that's pretty much gonna do it in terms of this show though. So if you really like this, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell. That way you don't miss any of my upcoming videos here on my YouTube side of things. Because we're in June. We're in what will be an E3-ish time frame, or I guess now we can call it the Summer Game Fest time period. So you never know what kind of news is gonna be announced, what kind of stuff I'm gonna be showcasing on streaming, uploading, all that kind of good stuff though. If you happen to be one of the viewers that happen to be listening to one of my podcast servers, whether that be Google, Apple, Spotify, or even Amazon Music, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, go ahead and hit the follow. That way you don't miss any other future episodes and ring that notification so that way you can get whenever I drop a new episode out, you'll be first to know about it there. And just give a review. Just let us know. We're just a few guys over here just talking about video game stuff, and it should be fun for the month of June with all the stuff they got planned and announced, though. But that's gonna basically do it in terms of this ZardCast episode 34. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next for the ZardCast episode 35, I'll see y'all later.